Evening, everyone. As has been said, my name is Dr. A.B. Alfrey, co-founder and CEO of GeroCare. And it's indeed a pleasure to be here to introduce GeroCare to you and then to talk about the impact we've had so far and the impact it can have for Nigerians in Canada. So GeroCare is actually transforming healthcare delivery in Nigeria, beginning with the elderly. So why the elderly, you may ask? In Nigeria, for instance, before you get to the age of 40, there's a 75% chance you will have lost one or both your parents to untimely death, or if not, have at least one of them severely incapacitated by a medical condition that could have been prevented. This may just sound like statistics to some of us until you have a personal experience like I did. So a few years ago, in the space of 1 year, my father had 2 massive strokes. And this was not because there's nothing I could have done. I was simply living and working in another location at the time. Subsequently, my mother called me and told me her blood pressure and blood sugar were extremely high. But there is something she said that jolted me. She said I had neglected them. And like many of us, I thought that was impossible. How could I neglect my own parents? But then, after a critical examination, I realized that while focused on my career and my business and my immediate family, I had subconsciously neglected them. We also realized that this problem was not peculiar to me, but to millions of Nigerians living and working far away from where their parents were. And the only time they hear anything, most times, was when something went tragically wrong. And so the question was, is there a way whereby no matter where we are in the world, we can constantly ensure our parents' healthcare is well taken care of and also remind them that we care? And that's what gave rise to GeroCare. So GeroCare makes it extremely easy for Nigerians wherever they are in the world to subscribe for regular doctor home visits and home medical care for their parents in Nigeria using the GeroCare application. They simply go to our websites, create an account for themselves, add the elderly logo as a beneficiary, make a payment. Immediately, they are matched to a doctor who lives close by or within the vicinity of the city, who begins to visit them at home at least once a month and provide us, the children, with real-time updates wherever we are in the world. By real-time updates, I mean when the doctor gets to our house, he checks in. Wherever in the world you are, you know he's in your parents' house. When he's done, he checks out. You know he has left. You then receive a summary on how your parents are doing for that day. If they need drugs or tests, you pay via the application or you fund your wallet so that we can draw down on it and we deliver the drugs to them at home and carry out the tests for them at home. So what are the benefits to the sponsor or the customer over there in Canada or in the US or anywhere else in the world? One, they have peace of mind wherever they are, knowing that their parents' health care is well taken care of. 2, they get real-time updates on their parents' health status via their mobile applications and via emails. 3, they access their parents' medical records in their mobile applications. This enables them requests for a second opinion where they have access to another doctor, or even when the parents go outside the country, they have the records they had in Nigeria to show whichever clinic or doctor they're seeing over there. Finally, it's affordable. It's just surprising you realize just how affordable it is. For the elderly loved one, they access quality medical care in the comfort of their home, inclusive of doctor visits, home delivery of drugs, prescribed medication, home sample collection for tests, access to their own personal doctor, and even to the GeroCare team at any point in time for any reason, either via call or via WhatsApp. They have access to care without having to pay for it themselves. We know that many times our parents need care, and one thing that hinders them is they may not have the money at the time, and so they delay it a bit. But right now, they can receive care whenever they need because the care is being taken care of. Also, these regular visits enable early detection and management of health conditions. We also provide what we call psychotherapy, having someone to have an intellectual discussion with at least once a month to ensure good mental health and allay loneliness and depression that may occur. For instance, we realized in Nigeria, in Ibadan, for instance, where there are many professors, they look forward to doctors' visits because many times they help with them and not literates. And so they can't have intellectual discussions. But when the doctor gets there, he can speak to them in a language and a level they understand. Initially, I used to have this service myself. So prior to launching GeroCare, I myself saw 20 elderly people in Port Harcourt regularly. And that's what even let me know that more people will need it because my visits were the highlights of their month. Reassurance that though their children are not with them, they know they have not been abandoned as they have this service, and it indicates the children are thinking about them wherever they are. So right now we have 3 offices in Nigeria, in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, but we serve the entire country. We have provided over 150,000 doctor home visits. We have 7 enterprise partners, 3 corporate organizations. We have Hygea, AXA Mansard, we have Total Health Trust, we have Sterling Bank, Honeywell Group as our customers. And then we have over 750 doctors across the country in different cities. We have a network of over 1,000 pharmacies and laboratories, and we cover 52 cities in Nigeria. So there's really nowhere we can't get to. Wherever is a rural location, it might cost just a little extra for the doctor in the nearest city to get there. So our services are as follows. Once you register, you have access to the GeroCare platform. You can create multiple accounts for your parents, for your in-laws, for any elderly loved one you like. You have access to visit reports, online medical records, access to GeroCare partner services like drugs, tests, physiotherapists, specialists. You have real-time tracking of your healthcare that's being provided. Real-time tracking also of your expenses, because every money you spend, you know what exactly it was spent on, and access to the GeroCare mobile application. The monthly visits entail general consultation, physical examination, request for lab tests if needed, prescription if needed, provision of prescribed medication if that's also requested for, and the additional benefits are the drug procurement, nursing services, physiotherapists, anything you need us to do for the elderly loved one. We see ourselves as a one-stop shop. So the moment you engage GeroCare, whatever the elderly person needs, you don't have to worry about it. We see ourselves as your sibling back in Nigeria that will do whatever you would have done personally if you were here as regards to your parents' health. Other services we have, home nursing care or non-medical caregivers. So we provide living caregivers for these parents if they need. We have home post-stroke rehabilitation and physiotherapy. We have ambulance services and emergency services. So on the platform, you can actually request for an ambulance for an emergency if it's needed. And as I mentioned, home diagnostics and pharmaceutical services. So for the costs, these are the costs provided. For doctor on-demand service, that's a doctor who will see the patient within 24 hours. It costs about $50. For subscription service is a monthly doctor visits. And this is what we advocate for. We don't advocate or encourage you wait till they have a problem first before you call a doctor. Because many times elderly people might have issues and not let you know. The moment they let you know, most times it's late. So the idea is to see them every single month. If nothing is there perfect, we ensure it remains that day. It remains that way. If we catch something also perfect, we catch it on time. But every month, you know, no surprises are occurring. We also have teleconsultation where the doctor can call only, but provide you a medical report on what goes on. This also is not fully encouraged. We prefer the visits, but peradventure, you just want to have regular calls to them to check up on them. We can provide that. But I'm really not a full proponent of teleconsultation alone. We also have caregiver services, providing living caregivers and day caregivers. Day caregivers come in the morning, go in the evening. Living caregivers actually stay with them. And the cost for this is case specific. So this is just one of our testimonials. I went to our testimonial page and just randomly picked one. This is from Moji Ajeneye. She's in the UK. So I'll just read it briefly. It says, I registered my dad to benefit from the service of GeroCare in 2020. They are still on the platform till date. I have to testify that the ease of subscribing, making payments, contacting and receiving sponsors or responses from staff within the organization has been excellent. My family is very happy with the level of service. the respect and dignity shown to my dad, the prompt production of reports, and the extra services provided, such as undertaking investigations at home. We are so happy and can see the positive difference in my daddy's healthcare provision since signing up to GeroCare. So these are just parts of the testimonials we received. There are quite a bulk of them from people all over the globe. Over the years, we've won quite a few international awards, some of which are top 9 finalists Kofi Annan Award for Innovation in Africa, given to us by the Kofi Annan Foundation. Top 20 finalists for the African Business Heroes Competition 2021, given to us by Jack Ma Foundation. Recipients of the Google Black Founders Funds from Google, selected from companies all over Africa. Also, Outstanding Digital Health Innovator 2020, and one I'm very proud of, Top 30 African Healthcare Innovation, given to us by the World Health Organization. These are just to mention a few. We've also been showcased on BBC, and I'll show that video a bit later. So yes, we have a great product, but we also have a great team led by myself. I've been a doctor now for over 20 years. I have 11 years experience as a strategic innovation consultant. I have an MBA for which I graduated with a distinction from Malaysia. I have a certificate in Blue Ocean Strategy and a background in geriatric care with 2 certificates in geriatric care. I've also been a past medical director of a state-owned hospital in Bayelsa State and a past head of medical services for the Bayelsa Health Insurance Scheme. My co-founder, Dr. Ajibola, has also been practicing for over 25 years. He has a PhD, not a medical doctor, but a PhD in neurophysiology, sorry. He's also an expert in healthcare marketing. I was extensively involved in the initial underwriting and policy implementation for the National Health Insurance Scheme for Nigeria. In academia, he has also been Dean of Student Affairs, heads of departments. He was also most recently acting Deputy Vice Chancellor for a private university before he also left to join GeroCare. Our technical co-founder has been building software now for over 20 years. He's also a key figure in the South Nigeria in the tech ecosystem. So this is a short video I'd like us to also watch from BBC. Please confirm to me if you can hear the volume.
GeroCare is actually leveraging technology to fill in the gap or to help with the failing health system in the country, especially as regards to the elderly. Well, we know in Nigeria, the health system is not as it should be, but it's even worse for the elderly because even the system that exists, as inadequate as it is, it still doesn't consider the elderly in any way. So we are trying to leverage technology to provide care for these people and make it possible for them to receive a semblance of decent healthcare. The care we provide is primary healthcare, and so GPs and medical officers are able to provide this type of care, and then they are overseen by consultants to review what they do. Once they come on board, they input their details, their medical certificates, their MDCN number. Fortunately, in Nigeria, medical service is one of the well-regulated industries whereby you can identify every single doctor. So we also have an extra layer of client services who ensures the patients are happy with their doctors.
Yes, some of you are doing very well. Blood sugar is fine. Blood pressure is fine. I'm impressed.
Our subscription is based on the fact that our visits to the elderly are not one-off. When you pay your subscription, you have access to at least 1 doctor visit. That doctor assigned to you is at your beck and call for the month. You have access to the platform and the reports and all those things. So for instance, you can take your mobile device and then look how Mama has been for this period of time by checking their reports. So nothing really surprises you. We want to avoid the situation where you get to the house and the only solution is to take them to the hospital because you've not seen them for a while. But if you see them regularly, you catch those conditions at the earliest possible stage and manage it such that it never becomes an emergency. So though it helps their health, what it tells the parents is that though I'm in Lagos, you're in Port Harcourt, or I'm in the UK and you're in Nigeria, I still think about you. I need to ensure you're doing well. So the future for GeroCare is ensuring we're able to actually make medical home care services the first line of care across board.
Okay. So I noticed a remark that someone mentioned that the volume was low. Probably I'll send the videos out to you guys, the few of you here, so you can have access to it. But in a nutshell, that's basically who GeroCare is, what we do. And I would love to hear any questions you may have so I can provide clarity about what we do. Thank you. Obi, over to you to handle the questions.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. AB. Quite an interesting 25 minutes. And I'm sure while you were on, a lot of people joined. And I have my questions, although those are some of the things that I've also had to go to the website to confirm. But let me leave the floor for other people that may have questions to ask. Thank you so much once again for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.